All right, let's talk a little bit about parameter queries. Now, you know when we create a query that we can, for example, create this one that's just going to ask us about different types of animals that we are going to find in the animal database. So we can get the animal, the type, the gender, etc. We run it and we get a subset of that data. And you know that we could say, we want to have animal types. We just want to show, we set our criteria as cats. We could type that in, run it, and all of a sudden I'm going to have a cat. But one of the things we can also do is we can create what's called a parameter query, where what we'll do is we will ask the user, what do you want to see? And so to do that, we're going to go add in use a parameter and just sit there and prompt the user to enter the value. So if you've seen, we create a parameter query. Under the criteria, we will put a question in brackets and prompt the user for what we want. So we could say, under criteria for animal type, we could say, enter type of animal. Now, when we run the query, we'll get asked, enter the type of animal. If I say, dog, I'll now see the dogs. If I go back and I run it again, type in bird, and there are all my birds. And if I type in something that doesn't match, just the same way as if we tried to run it and enter the criteria right there, dragon, I get nothing because there are no matches. You could, in theory, say, enter type of animal, and even prompt the user with saying something like cat, dog, or bird. And so when you see that, cat, dog, or bird, you cancel it, nothing will happen. So now once we, if we save this, then every time we open the query, you're running it. So it'll ask you for that. You'll have that information. So, we've got that to work with. Notice if I remove that parameter request and run it, it's going to run like a normal query at that point. And we could also, for example, you'll notice we've got date found. We've got, you've seen that there are the dates here. Now, in this case, all the dates are in 2014. So what we could do is we could create another piece called month found. And I'm going to go and I'm going to, zoom in on this, make it bigger so you can see what I'm doing. Oh, it's not going to, there we go. And we just say, month found is date part, and we're going to go with the month of my date found. Okay, we run that, and you'll notice that we've got our month part here. So January, December, etc. So if I wanted to create a report that said when, show me all the animals that were, turned in April. Well, we can sit there, we can set our criteria now to be either the month for, which is April. Now I've got it. Or we could, again, prompt the user for this type of information. So you could say enter numeric month. Now, if we're going to have it, enter in the numeric month, we'll say, again, 4. Now, if we're looking for the dates, we may actually want to go back in and just say date found. We want to sort that ascending so that we then get the dates in order. But this way, it's run every time that it comes onto the system. We can actually get rid of that. We don't need to show it. And then we can, choose to run things on the fly. This is a nice way of getting the data out quickly. One of the real advantages to this is that you can tie it to a form. So, for example, I have something here called the Animal Month Report, which is a report based upon the query find animal type. So, if I If I run this now and open up the report, it's going to automatically ask me for the month. Put that in, and there's my report, ready to go and print, showing me all of the animals from the month of June. Now, we could change the title here. We could even put in, something about the month if we wanted to. But you'll see that we can get all of this. That's one of the real values of parameter queries, is you can attach them to a report and then sit there and just, someone wants you to generate, the report. You set this up for each month or for a year. You could say, okay, show me all of the January things. February ends. Show me all of the February. Boom. You could just create this report on the fly. A user could then create it. So we print this and we're ready to go. Now, one thing just to know that you can do is you can also sit there and you can create parameters for more than one thing. So I could combine it and say, enter type of animal under animal type, and leave our numeric month. Now when I run it, it'll ask me the type of animal, cat. The numeric month, May. And now I'm going to see all of the cats that are turned in during that month of May. Now, it's a great way to drill down if you have certain set parameters. However, the more you do there, the more likely you are to run into an incident of no response. So, for example, we could try bird in January, and there's nothing there. So, remember, the more you slice and dice your data, the more often you run the chance of running into nothing there. This really doesn't tell you anything, so you have no way of processing that through it, which is one of the reasons why we can sometimes choose to only put in one parameter.